Good morning, everyone. Just waiting for some people to join because I know that sometimes it can take a minute or two for people to get notifications. And actually my own notification has just popped up, so hopefully people should start receiving that notification soon. So I'm just going to wait. I've already got somebody with me. Oh, and it's Halsey. Hello, Halsey. How are you? I hope the move has gone well and you're settling in nicely. How exciting. Really excited for you. Let's see if we get anybody else. Now I'm going to have a quick slurp of my tea just while we're waiting. Just got a few of my supplies out as to what I'm going to use, and no taffy crafting project would be complete without the old mini stamping dimensionals. Gotta have them in a project. It's a beautiful day here in mid Wales in the UK. Woke up to frost and fog, but it was one of those mornings when you look out the window you know it's going to be a nice day, and the sun is shining, the sky is blue. So yeah, no craft room yet. Craft fixed by watching others craft. We are making, hello Verity, we're making a Mother's Day card today using a technique that I've not used before, and it's called a tunnel card. And I didn't know that existed until about 8 o'clock yesterday evening, when I'm thinking, what shall I make in the morning? And I saw this, I thought, I've got to make that. Absolutely got to make that. It sounds like Verity hasn't heard of a tunnel card either. Morning, Karen. So yeah, I'm looking forward to doing this. It's really easy. It's super, super easy, which just suits me down to the ground. Want something nice and quick to do. No, and actually the YouTube video that I saw yesterday is 8 years old. So I've not come across it. Now, Karen, who's here, our fun fold expert. Karen, have you heard of a tunnel card or a tunnel fold card? Can't actually remember what it's called now. When I write my blog post for this, I will credit the person, but I can't remember. I think it's something like Emma's Craft Creations or something like that. Forgotten now. Based in the US. Morning, Tracy. There we go. This is going to be new to all of us then. I'll show it to you in a second. I'm just waiting for a few others. We're all very quick off the mark this morning. Only 2 minutes past 10 and I've got 8 people with us. Good morning, Jane. So is the weather lovely where you're all waking up? It's beautiful here. The sun's shining. This room is really warm now where the sun's coming in. I'm sat here in my Scotty Dog Christmas pyjamas. Ready to craft. Okay. Let me show you what we're going to make. So from the inside, just a normal looking card really, just with some, using the flowers for every season because I've got to get that used up. I'm on a bit of a mission. We've got our new catalogue coming out in the next, I think it's 8 weeks. And I've still got a fair amount of DSP to get through. And I'm on a mission this next 8 weeks because also when I can pre-order at the beginning of April, then that's going to be some new stuff coming. So really, actually, if you think about it, I've only got 6 weeks to get through this DSP. So I'm on a mission. So anyway, there's my card. Notice the bow, actually did a nice job on the bow. But inside, and this is quite basic, this one, because I only had a go of this yesterday. That's what it means by a tunnel card. Looks like you're looking into a tunnel. So I've only decorated this one quite in a basic way. I will, the one that I'm going to do here will be a little bit more detail with some stamping. So I don't know if any of you have made anything like that before and it's been called something else, but super simple. What I have to remember to do is not stick the front on until I've made the middle. So yesterday I'd already done the front and then stuck the middle in, and then it was very difficult to actually then, well, not difficult, but I was just squashing my bow. When you've done a nice job on a bow, the last thing you want to do is squash it. So that's what we're going to do. So this is going to be in real time. I haven't chopped anything up. You can make this with one piece of cardstock, and then I'm going to be using the Flowers for Every Season. So I'm going to be using this for my front. So that's why I'm teaming that up with Very Vanilla rather than white. And then I've just got some scraps of this all over the place, so I'm just going to be using some bits and pieces up. So this is going to be decorating the inside, and I'm going to be using this one as well. Yeah, well, I thought it was a strange name, a tunnel card, because it doesn't really look like a tunnel, but yeah, I didn't think it would be new. Don't know which way up that's going to go. So that's going to go in the middle of our card, and then I've got some Just Jade card as well for just for borders and things. So then we just need a little bit of scrap for the middle to stamp on. So let's just get some bits and pieces to one side. Good morning, Trisha. Right then, let's make a start. So I've not trimmed anything down. I did that deliberately just so that, well, just so that I'm doing it in real time really, and you can see how long it takes to make. So you're going to start off with 2 pieces of Very Vanilla. So you just need 1 piece of cardstock, and this is 5 3/4. You want 2, so on the long side, 5 3/4, and then do that again at 5 3/4, and it just takes that little bit off the end. And then this one, just trim it down to 8 inches. Now you don't have to do that, but I just found that trying to divide 4 1/8 by 2 then makes it, if you're using a scoreboard, then makes it tricky to do. So I thought it'd just be easier to trim this down to 8 inches. And you're going to do the same with the other piece as well. Hello there, Kathy. Don't worry about being late, we've barely started. Hi there, Sharon. I will write a blog post for this, so it'll have all of the measurements on there, but I'm going to cheat a little bit. I've got a blog hop that's happening in later on in March that's for a fun fold. I thought, oh, I might use this. So there will be a blog post later on in March with all of the details. So with these, I don't know why I put this away, because I need it. With one of them, you're just going to score that in half at 4 inches. I'm trying to keep an eye on comments, and I'll get a bit carried away and don't look. So if I've missed you, I'm sorry. No, I think I've caught everyone's comment. So one of them, score in the middle at 4 inches, and then the other one you're going to score at 2 inches, 4 inches, and 6 inches. Now I can put that away for a moment. I'm just going to fold and burnish those score lines. So these are going to fold into towards the middle. And this is another card where I've got to be really careful that I'm not sticking down something that's upside down, as I did on a live once before. And then this is going to fold inwards like that. So I think I don't normally do the Valley Mountain Valley, but it's Valley Mountain Valley. So that's going to be the inside of our card. And then this one, we're just going to fold and burnish that in the middle. I'm just going to create my layers now while I'm here. So this is the outside of the card. And I want a piece of Just Jade. Obviously you can use any colourway you like, depending on what your... Hello there, Lewis. Depending on what DSP you're using. So this, we will trim this down to 3 7/8. By 5 5/8. Are you all right there this morning, Lewis? Is my daughter awake? Is she at work? Is she there with you? And then I'm using this. I just love that mix of colour with the Misty Moonlight and the Just Jade. I think that's really pretty. And ideal for Mother's Day, for mothers that like flowers. What is this going to be? 3 3/4. She's got a bit of a headache. By 5 1/2. So what I'm going to do with this is the front. And I'll do this in a second. Just want to get everything cut out first. And then what I'm going to do is just put some ribbon on there. I'm trying to get my ribbon used up. I don't use ribbon half as much as I could. And I see lots of lovely projects. If you go onto Instagram and just search for the hashtag card making, oh my goodness. Superb use of ribbon and layers and stamping. So what I'm going to do is stick that on there like that, and then I'll make a bow. Actually, I might as well just do this while I'm here. Now I normally do this with liquid glue and then I get completely gummed up with glue, and then my fingers get all sticky and then it's a disaster. So just while I'm fiddling about with this, any news? Anyone got any gossip? Got 14 of you with me. Oh, enjoy, Tricia. Enjoy that. That sounds wonderful, doesn't it? Nice bubble bath. I haven't made any plans yet for the rest of the day. Not quite sure what I'm going to do. I know it will, today's plans will involve some ironing, unfortunately. I wish I'd done that yesterday. So is anyone planning to, hi there Victoria, anyone planning to go out today, go out for a walk and enjoy the sun? I should do, really. I did go out on Friday. The weather was absolutely beautiful on Friday, and in the town where I live, it's right by the river. So I had a walk along the river with one of my friends. It was lovely. Right, and I need a glue dots just to glue that little bit down. I bought these glue dots probably about 3 years ago. I've still got them. They just never seem to run out. I'm just going to stick that underneath there. Just to hold that down. Why is that not sticking? Because it's come off my finger and not on the back of the ribbon. I'm not a massive fan of glue dots. They're great if you want something that's super sticky, but I end up getting more stuck to the glue dot than the glue dot gets stuck to the project. And I'm just fiddling about with this now. I'm not going to stick the front of this to the card yet. I'm going to try and do a bow, and I'm just going to try and do this bow without even thinking about it, because the more I think about a bow, the worse it gets. Oh dear, this isn't going to be good though. Well, I might be able to save that. Possibly. Maybe. Kathy's got domestics. Yeah, I did all of that yesterday actually. Friday and yesterday I did my domestics. Oh God, that's terrible. I've got a really full-on week at work this week, so I'm going to be doing some bit of planning for that, bit of reading. This will be the only bow. I'm not going to, this will be my last attempt. That's it, this one's not gone too badly. Right, that's it. That's it, I'm not doing any more. Right. And I'm going to stick that on there with another glue dot, and I'll try not to get stuck to this one. Right, so there is my bow on there. Don't know if that paper's up, I don't think it matters actually. Right, I'm going to stick that on there. I'm just going to quickly do that now, and then I'm going to leave the front while I do the inside. I know that's the thing about glue dots, I get completely stuck to them. And then yesterday, I vacuumed the entire house from top to bottom, and then I still found those flipping mini dimensional backings still all over the place. I'm still not sure about which way up this paper goes. I don't know. I'm just going to put that down and not panic about it at the moment, thinking I'll put my ribbon on the wrong way. Right, now what am I going to do? Let's deal with the inside. So the inside is where we've got this popping up like that, and then we've got these. Now I'm thinking I probably should have put my middle layer of DSP on before I scored it, but I'm not going to panic yet, because I might be able to score that. Let's give it a go. Good old live crafting. Something always happens. Right, so this will be 3 3/4. So in the card that I made, I didn't decorate the middle, and I wish I had. So this one I'm going to decorate. So 3 7/8 by 5 5/8. And what I'm going to do, let's see how this goes. I'm going to stick that on there and then fold it when the glue's dried. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work, and I just have to do another piece of very vanilla. So I think so far I've made about 15,000 Mother's Day cards. It's not that much actually, but I have made quite a few. I think I need to put them on my page perhaps and sell them. And I know that Mother's Day actually isn't celebrated at the same time over the world, is it? I know that Australia's a different time to us. I don't know about Europe and the US. I think the US is different from us as well. Right, I won't fold that yet while that glue is still wet, but I've got some scraps of this. And now I'm going to put this green on either side. I just need to trim it down. Good morning, Eileen. So this is 1 7/8 wide, so I just need to trim that off a little bit. How are you this morning, Eileen? By 1 5/8. Also, as well, while I'm thinking about it, for those of you that supported me last week when I was doing my 5 days of live crafting, thank you very much. I really enjoyed all of that. It really pushed me out of my comfort zone. I love doing live crafting, but it scares the bejesus out of you sometimes. Right, so let's get these stuck down, and then what I'll do is, while these are drying off, I'll decorate the inside. And then the other thing about this card is that you can still decorate this up or down, you know, whatever suits you, whatever suits the recipient of the card. So for this, for the inside, if you weren't using DSP, you could stamp this, you could put some punched images on there, die cut flowers, anything. Oh, thank you very much, Victoria, thank you. There was a couple of times I amazed myself. And then a couple of times I thought, what did you do that for? But it was a nice thing to do during half term, because obviously being on lockdown, you can't go anywhere or do anything. And I just would have ended up just working all week. So it was nice to do something that wasn't work. Right, so I'm going to put that to one side and just let that just let that glue dry off before I start doing any folding and die cutting. So we're going to do some stamping. I've got everything going on in this card. DSP, we've got some ribbon, we're going to have some punched out bits in a minute, and we are going to have some stamping. So what I'm using today is the Happiest of Birthdays stamp set. I've got all my stamps out on this, All Things Fabulous and Welcoming Window. If you're making this, use whatever you got. Use this for any occasion card. So I'm going to use the It's Your Day, Enjoy It for right in the middle. And I've got the stamp on a block somewhere on this desk that's gradually getting a little bit untidy. There it is. And I'm going to stamp that in Misty Moonlight. But you could use, if you're using these papers, you could use Just Jade. That would be just as nice. Hi there, Janice. Oh, thank you, Kathy. And I'm just going to eyeball this in the middle. If you're someone that likes everything to be exact and perfect in the middle, then measure it out. That's absolutely fine. I'm lazy and can't be bothered. So there is our sentiment for the middle, and I think for anything for like a Mother's Day or a birthday is your day. You should enjoy it. And I want to put some flowers on here. So I've got one of my flowers on a block, but I can't find the other. Oh, there it is. And I'm going to stamp this in Bumblebee. And I wasn't quite sure about stamping Bumblebee onto Very Vanilla, but it did work. But I do need a bit of scrap card just for some stamping off, which I've got there. Right, where's Bumblebee? So for this flower, this is the bigger one of these. So I have got all my flowers out. So I'm going to take, it's this flower, but I want it to be lighter. So I'm going to stamp off before I stamp on here. It's really dark on there. Plus also I want to put a darker image in the middle. So I'm just going to put a couple of these flowers on here. I have now bought the dies for All Things Fabulous. And I'm going to have a play about with those this week. I want to really make the most of my evenings this week. I don't want to be working, apart from Monday evening where I have to work. I want to do some crafting. I love this stamp set. That's why I bought the dies, because I love this stamp set so much. And then I've got the middle bit. And what I'm going to do with this is do a light stamp off. So literally just the lightest of touches on my card, my scrap card that I've just got to the side of me. So all I've done, I've loaded up the stamp. I found that without doing a light stamp off, it was still too dark. So I've just gone like that. Not a proper stamp off. It just gives a little bit of, I don't know, shade, tone, shade. I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. Right, then I want to get some green on here. So from the same stamp set, I've got the leaf, and I'm going to use Just Jade for that. It's beautiful, and also because it was new in this year's catalogue, fingers are tightly crossed. Fingers are tightly crossed that it does go into the next catalogue. I can't believe Karen hasn't already got this, bearing in mind it's floral. Now, I had a play about with this earlier, and if you just do a stamp, as beautiful as that is, it's too dark for what I want for this. If you stamp off, I prefer that, but it just depends. It's totally your choice. So stamp off, and then I'm just going to put that in the corner there. This is in the inside of the card, so it's not going to be hugely seen. What am I doing? Let's do that way. Right, one more here, and then we are done with the inside stamping. And then what we'll need to do then is fold that in half. But I need that to dry off. I know our inks do dry quite quickly, but I'm not taking any chances with that. Right, so I had this thing here where I had to put my DSP over my fold. So I'm hoping now all this glue is dried off. Oh, hope that works. You can just feel the glue underneath it. Yeah, that's all right, no disasters. So the next thing. Now, the card that I saw online, they had die cut a heart out of this. I don't have any heart die cuts. You could, if you were super clever and super patient, actually draw a template of a heart and with a craft knife go around it. Not in a million years am I doing that. Instead, I'm going to get one of these scalloped hearts from the Layering Circles dies and choose which one I want. So I'm going to choose that by, because this is going to sit in the middle. Whoops. And I want all of that to be seen, so that's not big enough. So I've gone for the largest scallop circle. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Oh, I'm having to close all my messages. They keep popping up in front of me. And then what I'm going to do, just kind of over there, off camera, is just die cut that circle out like that. So you can talk amongst yourselves while I do that. And I am just eyeballing it. Because I'm super lazy. So that's that done. And then that comes out, and then you can do whatever you like with that. Depending on what you were using in the middle, it could be something that goes nicely in the middle of your card. Just depends what DSP you're using, probably. So now we have that. So if you wanted to, you could then decorate some more bits and pieces on there, maybe put some flowers if you wanted to. They'll probably look really nice actually with some die cut flowers if you wanted to. And probably what I would do is perhaps be a good reason for me to get my die cuts of my also fabulous All Things Fabulous dies, and then perhaps do some stamping and die cutting to put on there. Right, so now I need to fold this in half, but because I've done it at 3 7/8, that's difficult to do. So I'm going to shave a little bit off each side, because if it's 3 3/4, it's easier to measure. There is a method in my madness, you know. So I'm just going to shave off a little bit either side. I didn't think about that, and when I put my blog post up, I will alter the measurement. So actually this piece is going to be 3 3/4. And then what I'm going to do is score at 1 7/8, because that is half of 3 3/4. I always like to bring a bit of maths into my life. And then what I'm just going to do is carefully, and try not to touch too much of that inside, just in case I've got a bit of ink splodged on my finger. Right, ready for construction. So how we're going to put this together is to put this in the middle like that, and then that will fold in and out with that, and then that will sit on top of it, and then we'll put all the stuff on the front. Yep, can have a bit of maths with your craft. I'll do something next with angles and things like that. Oh, I did once actually, didn't I? I think that little bag that I made was a little lesson on angles. And you thought it was half term. Right, I'm going to put that in the middle. So just put that along the score line. Make sure it's the right way up. And then fold that over. It needs to be kind of like the teeny tiniest bit in front of that score line. That's a bit better. And give it a good burnish. And then you can put your glue over the top of that. Rather than putting glue all over the back of it, you'll end up with it all over your hands and all over the card in the place you don't want it to be. And just disperse that glue in there. So that's the inside of our card. Then what we just need to do is just fix that on there, and I'm just going to do one at a time. This was quite tricky yesterday actually, and it was just trying not to get covered in glue. So you've got to get your glue on the back here and then put that on there, and then very quickly before it sets, get it lined up. All the time making sure you've got it all the right way up, especially if your DSP runs in a particular direction. And if you're going to use a heart, I can't remember, I don't know if we do have heart dies. Do we have heart dies? If you are using a heart, then obviously make sure it's the right way up. Right, so plop that on there and then get it lined up. And you have a few seconds to do that, not very long. Yeah, I thought there were some hearts in the mini catalogue, and because I don't really do hearts, they kind of passed me by. And then you just need to keep hold of this because it does start to flap about a bit. Like that. Quickly rescue it and line it up carefully. That one went better than the one I did yesterday. And there is, so you can't quite see, it depends in which angle you're looking at the inside of that, but you've got, you can see what's going on in the inside of that card. And then fold it all down and just go back and burnish those score lines. So this is quite a thick card. You'd have to check when you're going to put it in an envelope that you've got the right postage. It's nothing worse than your recipient of the card having to pay their own postage. It's all a bit gluey at the moment, so I'm just going to put that to one side. So here's the front of my card. And I still can't decide what way up that is. But I want to make something for the front. So I'm going to get out my, I put them away, my heart punches. And along with my circle punches, these are used the most. I love them. Oh, wrong one. So the bigger heart, is that going to fit in there? Oh, it might just. So we're going to have that there, and then pick out my Mother's Day sentiment from the Welcoming Window stamp set. So this is your choice now. I'm going to stamp this onto Very Vanilla. Do I stamp it in Misty Moonlight or just Jade? You can choose. Hello there, Steph. Oh no, no hot water, that's awful. We had that recently, and I think we had somebody out 3 or 4 times before it actually got sorted. Washing my hair in cold water wasn't fun. So Victoria's coming with Misty Moonlight. Let me find my got a scrap of I need a scrap, while you're all deciding whether I'm doing that in Misty Moonlight or just Jade, I need to find a scrap of Very Vanilla. I thought I had on my desk, and I think I've used it for stamping off. So 2 votes so far for Misty Moonlight. Nobody wants Jade? Let you all fight it out amongst yourselves. Tracy's gone for Misty Moonlight 2. Kathy's gone Jade. We've got 3 for blue and 1 for green. Sharon's gone Misty Moonlight. Oh dear, sorry Kathy, you're going to get outvoted here. Looks like it's Misty Moonlight for our sentiment. Steph's come in with Misty Moonlight as well. Have I got the right one open? Yeah. Is a beautiful colour. Still can't beat Night of Navy, but it is a beautiful colour. I'm going to punch that out with a plain edge. Right, I need my dimensionals, and we'll just load that up. How many can I get away with? 2? Oh, let's be really frivolous and put 4 on there. I think my sentiment's a bit high. So because of that, need to put a rhinestone on there. I'm going to put a couple on actually. I'm going to put 3 on. We'll put that on there. Right, let's get some more of these. And we are almost done. So don't forget, today is the last day of celebration. So if you want to order tomorrow and you're hoping for some freebies, you're going to be too late, I'm afraid. So I'll leave a link to my shop on my page straight after this live, with a link to my shop, so that if you spend more than £45, you can get your hands on some free goodies. Everyone loves a freebie. Well, I do. Let's get that in the middle there, like that. And just before you stick that onto the front, just make sure that this is all folded down as flat as you can get it, because it then does become quite a hefty card. I'm just going to put some glue on the back of this. Make sure everything is the right way up. Never make that mistake again. When you look up at your screen and everyone is shouting in capital letters, it's upside down. So I'll keep this live saved to my page. So if you fancy having a go of it, all of the instructions will be there, and I'll upload it to YouTube as well. And there we have it, and it sits up really nicely as well, and it can sit up like that. So that's the slightly more elaborate version that I did. So that was the one that I did yesterday. Better bow on that one, I think. And I do prefer that paper on there, but it's plainer in the middle. I might go back and decorate that later. And then this one just with the decorated inside with this DSP. And I might do something with that later as well. So I'm so glad. I don't even know how I come across it. I just have no idea. I think I was just scrolling away through Pinterest as I do, and I just saw this. I thought it's something that I'd really love to have a go at. And I think with the stamping in the middle as well, just brings it a little bit more to life. It actually makes you pick it up and want to have a look and see what's going on in there. So I hope you like that, and I hope that's something that you might want to have a go at. And I'm still going to run these every fortnight. So our next one will be on the 14th of March, which will be Mother's Day. And I'm also hoping to make that a bit of a birthday special as well, because it's 2 days before my birthday. So 3 days before my birthday. So I'll try and make that one a bit of a birthday special. Oh, so thank you, Victoria. Thank you, Verity. Sharon, thank you. Thank you, Jane, Karen, Kathy, thank you very much. I'm really pleased with how that's gone. I quite like that. Send it to myself, or get one of the kids to buy it to send it to me. So thank you ever so much for joining me this morning, and go and enjoy the rest of your day. I hope the sun continues to shine wherever you are, or if it isn't shining at the moment, that it does pop up later. And I'll see you again in 2 weeks. See you all soon. Bye bye.